Hello again, viewers, and greetings, fellow space travelers. This is Thorn of Night, and welcome to episode 16 of my bee breeding guide. In today's episode, we're going to be walking past the Infernal Branch and going to visit the Austere Branch. Now, the bees in this branch are pretty annoying for the most part, and there are 4 bees, 3 that you have to breed and 1 that you can find in a hive. The modest bee, which is this one, is found in those yellow hives in deserts. The frugal bee, the austere, and the hazardous. Now, I know that the hazardous, as per the Apiarist database, isn't in the austere branch, but the wikis tend to put it in there, and as well as some other people in the online community tend to agree that the hazardous belongs in here because of its effect and also because of the bees that are required to make it. So I am including it in the austere branch. If you don't like it in this branch, just pretend this is borrowing from its branch. But anyway, a few things you're going to need to know about this branch are that they like the desert. They like it hot, they like it dry, and they prefer cacti as their flowers. Now, the austere and hazardous bees have the effect of creeper, and what this is when you are in their area, they will cause spontaneous explosions as if a creeper of random distance will explode near you. Now, it doesn't damage the terrain, but it does damage you a lot. And wearing the beekeeper suit does nothing for it. You will still take damage. So once you get the bees going, you will have to kind of steer clear of their area. Also, one advantage to them is they do work through the night, so you can let them go all night long. A quick overview of the bees in here. We've got the hot and arid criteria for them, but also they have some tolerances either way for most of them, up and down, and these first 2 have both. And also, aside from the modest, the other bees in this branch have long lives. So, though they work through the night, it's as if they were working through the days and had shorter lives. But the output that you're going to get from these guys are going to include parched comb, which will give you beeswax and honey drops, nothing special there, but the austere bees will give you this powdery comb. Now, the powdery comb can only be gotten in a hot or hellish condition, so do keep that in mind when you're going after it. But the comb will produce beeswax and honey drops, but also, more importantly, you can get gunpowder out of this. So that's a nice little boon for the bees. But let's go take a look at what's involved in getting them going. I am now in the desert biome world that I made in Mistcraft. If you do decide to download this map, it is on the Feed the Beast Unleashed mod pack. So do keep that in mind, and I'll have that note in the description and also where you download it. But if you do decide to download this and go wandering around, just remember, if you get lost, come back to 00. I am right here. This is 00, and it will bring you to the main area where all the bees are. But I have a different building for each of the branches, so it's pretty well divided. Now, the modest bee, like I said, is going to come from these yellow hives that you find in deserts. And then you are also going to need some sinister bees. Now, these are from the Infernal Branch. And if you don't know how to make those, you can hop through the book and go to the Infernal Branch. Or you can watch my Infernal video. Infernal video. Haha! But you are going to need some of both of those to breed a level 5 bee called the FRUGAL. This is the first one that you breed. And I got a princess out of that one. All right. And let's see how long it took me to get this thing. 1 generation. That's not too shabby. And let's go ahead and compare it to a default bee. It looks like I managed to breed a purebred frugal bee. That's kind of nice. So I will toss these here in this chest for you to look at if you so choose. And there's some stock in there for you to tinker with the breeding and get familiar with it. It is a desert biome, not a hill biome, so you can sleep through the night if you want. There are some bees that, though they work in the desert, they don't like the night, so I have included beds for that. But let's take a look at what you can expect to get as output from these frugal bees. First off, you're going to get 2 drones and anywhere from probably 2 to 7 or 8 of the parched comb. Now, a stack of parched comb will yield both about a stack of beeswax and honey drops, so it's pretty close to a 1-for-1 output there. All right, now moving on. You are going to need that modest again, so get a bunch of them. And you're going to need some frugal bees, and I've got some stock in here again for you to tinker around with. But this will give you the austere bee, and I have an austere drone, it looks like. And let's see how long it took me to get this thing. It isn't necessarily going to take you the same amount as me, maybe longer, maybe shorter. But that only took 2 generations. Now let's do some comparisons here. I guess it'd help if I popped it in there first. Alright. What's going on? Something's not working right. Hold on, let me get this figured out. Put that in there. Now it's working. Okay. Comparing to the actual purebred, the princess that I've been carrying around for the demonstration, this does not have the creeper effect, and it has a shorter life, so it's borrowing traits from some of the components of the bees that were used to breed it. And there are some tolerance differences, but they still like the hot and arid. And the output, it can possibly put out the, like I said, the powdery comb before. And let's take a look at that, but let me put these in the chest for you to examine yourself if you wish. Da. The output of the austere bee will include about 2 drones and a chance for some parched and powdery comb. Now the powdery comb has a higher chance on average as far as I've been able to tell. A couple of these have more parched, but you're pretty much going to get at least 2 comb out of 1 life cycle of a queen. So that's pretty nice. But let's look at this parched comb. Now, it will give you about 1/4 of a stack each of the honey drops and beeswax, but that's not why we're going after the parched comb. We're going after, or not the parched, but the powdery. We're going after the gunpowder, and you can get almost a stack out of a stack of the powdery comb. Alright, so now moving on, we've got the hazardous bee, level 7, because it requires the level 6 austere. But you are also going to need a bee from the barren branch, the desolate, and you can go take a look at that over there, or you can watch my barren video. But let's grab a hazardous bee here, and let's grab the princess to see how long this took. 5 generations, not too hugely bad. Let's identify that first and not do that messing around like I did before. As you can see, there's a few discrepancies between the purebred and the hybrid. For instance, dead bush versus cacti. Now the barren branch do like the dead bush as their flower, so you might get those. And as you can see, the hunger trait, which came from the desolate as well. Let's see here. Minor discrepancy in the temperature tolerance, but it's still hot and arid is what they like. And you can get the nice little comb here. I will put these in here also for you to examine if you wish. Now you can expect to get 2 drones and some of this unstable comb. The unstable comb will, and I forgot to put that in the chest in the overworld. I will update that here in after I'm done with this. I'll go ahead and grab some. The unstable comb, a stack of that, is used to get this saltpeter stuff. And saltpeter is used for making, when it loads, the strengthened glass for making some durable glass there, but also, more importantly, it is also used for making gunpowder. You can use it in forestry for making the fertilizer as well, but primarily it's good for making gunpowder there. And then some more of the strengthened glass. But that is pretty much it for the austere branch. I am going to mention that the bees in this branch are used fairly regularly in a lot of the other branches, including monastic, hostile, gemstone, gem, festive, that's kind of a fun one, nuclear, that's a little bit less fun, the alchemical, and the tropical, and there's a book here to go back to the austere hub. But that is pretty much going to be it for this episode, so thank you very much for watching. I hope I didn't confuse you too much, and I hope I was helpful with my information. If you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, do leave them in the comment section below. I'll do my best to respond. And if you like this video, please give it a like. I do appreciate that. I like to know that I'm doing well by you guys. But also, if you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe so you know when my next stuff comes out. But in the meantime, thank you once again for watching. This is Thorn of Night, and I will talk to you later.